Okay, we're going to factor some trinomials with a GCF present. Basically, we're factoring quadratics here more specifically, and we're going to have a GCF present. So we're going to factor the following, and we're going to check our work. So I have multiple factoring videos. If you haven't seen those, definitely give those a go because this is just the next one in the series. So here we have 2x squared minus 4x minus 16. We would like to factor this. And what's different about this one from previous ones is all of a sudden now we have a 2 out front. But a GCF is a greatest common factor. So we're looking to see is there something all three of these have in common. Well, if you look at the numbers, I have 2, -4, -16. All of these numbers can be divided by 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide everything by 2 and see what happens. So if I take 2x squared and divide it by 2, well, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So you just get an x squared. Then if you have a -4x divided by 2, we're going to have a -2x. And if you take -16 divided by 2, we get -8. So what makes this interesting is, yeah, we did divide everything by 2. So if you multiply this 2 back in, we should get this. If we cover up this 2, we should be able to factor this. So at this point in time, you should be very, very good at factoring pieces like this. We're looking for two numbers that multiply to -8, but add to -2. If you still need to make the list of numbers that multiply to 8, that's 1 and 8, 2 times 4. So you kind of look and see, well, which of those pairs is going to allow you to multiply to -8, but add to -2. And I believe, with experience of doing this over and over and over, that if I have a -4 and a +2, that should get us what we need, because -4 times 2 is -8. -4 plus 2 is -2. So this 2 I kind of ignored. That's still there. Before I box this up and say this is my answer, though, we would like to check our work. And how we're going to do that with factoring, to check your factoring, is you're going to use multiplying or distributing. So I'm going to multiply these two parentheses first, then we'll multiply the 2 last. So x times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. -4 times x is -4x. -4 times 2 is -8. So if we combine like terms there, I have x squared minus 2x minus 8. Still have that 2 that we still got to multiply through. So multiply this 2 in, we get 2x squared, -4x, and minus 16. If you see, this matches up with my original problem. Therefore, we know I'm right, and 2, parentheses x minus 4, parentheses x plus 2 are my factors. Just to show you that one more time, I have 3x squared minus 42x plus 72. Again, I'm looking for a GCF. Now, common things I look for is I go to my highest power x, which is x squared. See this 3 here? Look and see, and it's also the smallest number there, just like 2 is the smallest number here. See if the smallest number divides into the rest of them. So I wonder if 42 can be divided by 3 and 72 divided by 3, which they can. So we're going to divide everything by 3 here. If I take 3x squared divided by 3, I get x squared. -42x divided by 3 is -14x. And 72 divided by 3 is 24. So all I got to do is just don't worry about that 3 for now. Worry about this. Find two numbers that multiply to 24 and add to -14. Again, it might help to write out all the pairs of numbers that multiply to 24. It might help you visually see it, because a lot of times kids will sit there and stare at it. It does nothing for them. So 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. So I'm looking for which of these pairs can I combine together to get -14, but add up to 24. And what I see is I see a 2 and 12 there. So I think a 2 and 12 is going to work. But to get -14, I'll need a -2 and a -12. And let's check, out loud. -2 times -12, yeah, that's going to give me +24. -2 and -12 does give me -14. But as always, I do like to check my work before I box this. It's just a good thing to do, especially during a test. You know you're right before you actually turn it in. So I'm going to worry about that 3 a little bit later. X times x is x squared. 12x, negative 2x, 24. If you combine like terms there, I feel like I just wrote in that should be a negative 2x. Oh, that was sorry, I mixed that up. It's a 12. Combine like terms there, that's minus 14x plus 24. That has a minus 12x there. Take the 3, distribute. 3 times x squared is 3x squared. 3 times negative 14 is negative 42x. 3 times 24 is 72. So checking this, oh well, matches up with there. So my answer is 3, parentheses x minus 2, parentheses x minus 12. And that is factoring, specifically a trinomial. We're factoring quadratics with a GCF present.